Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So this book is something which is going to bring us nearer to our Isha, which is Krishna. So what we have covered till now is in introduction, we have seen about the 4 defects we have, and so we need the Vedas. We have seen how Vedas give us the universal axiomatic wisdom, Vedic knowledge is superior to Pratyaksha, Numan, Praman, how only way to know about transcendental is Vedas, Krishna is the ultimate goal, and the history of Vedas. Then in invocation, we have seen this breakup. Invocation to Shloka 3 is about living in harmony with Ishvara, which we finished last week. Now we are into the second part, Shloka 4 to 8, which is going to help us understand that Ishvara can be understood by spiritual vision only. Then it will be followed by the shlokas, making us understand about right and wrong vidya, right and wrong upasana, and finally the fourth shloka, wherein we are going to be praying to Ishvara to reveal himself. And the importance of revelation is something which we saw yesterday. Invocation, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. So what we have understood in invocation is that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the complete absolute truth. And since material world is coming from Krishna, it is also complete. Human form is offering the complete facility for Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. We have seen how the sense gratification is illusory completeness, and we have seen how bhakti is the real completeness. In Shloka number 1, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grodha kasya svidadhanam. So here we have understood about the glory of Vedic knowledge, how the Lord is proprietor of everything, how everyone has got a quota in nature, how there is quota in human possession of the earth, how there is a quota in human diet, and we have understood how to live according to Ishavas. The next shloka was Asurya Nama Te Loka Andena Tamasarvataha Tamste Pretya Vigachanti Yeke Chatma Hanojanaha. So here we have understood how karma bandhana causes death, how human life offers liberation through akarma, how Vedas lead ultimately to the akarma, how we have to begin the journey by bringing Krishna even into the self-gratificatory life, how everything is vain without Krishna, and how it is important to convert all altruisms into karma yoga. There's Shloka 3, which was Kurvan evihe karmani jiji vishesha shatam samaha evam tvayina anyatheto si na karma lipyate nare. So here what you have understood is, who is a demon? Who is a soul killer? How we have to liberate the soul and not to kill it. How if you don't use higher facilities of human life form, then we have to live worse than animals in this life and go to hell next life. How even if we fail in liberating soul, still the results are going to be glorious. And then if we succeed, then nothing can be said about it. How modern politicians are acting like demons, and how we can solve all problems forever. Then we went into the fourth shloka. Anejad ekam manaso javiyotena idadeva apnuvan purvamarshataha tadhavati anyana atteti tishtat tasmin apo matrishva dadhati. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. So yesterday we saw how absolute truth cannot be understood by speculation, how philosophers have always failed, how only the mercy of Krishna or his devotee can help us understand the absolute truth. We saw how revelation helps understand God and his energies. Energies are not different from God, yet they are different. So Dvaita concept we saw. And then we saw because we are limited, we can understand unlimited only through his revolution. And so we have to play our part, and then we'll be given the understanding. So this is all what we have covered till now. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurodmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanutamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is where we begin with our Shloka number 5. Tad ejati tan, sorry. Anijad ekam manasah javiyahan enat devaha apnuvan purvam arshata tat dhavatah. I think there is some mistake. This is 4th shloka and not this shloka. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Yeah. So I'll read this shloka for everyone. Yeah, it has. I hope that we are able to share it also in time. Tad ejati tannaijati tad dure tad vyantike tad antarasya sarvasya tad yu sarvasya bhayataha. So what it means is the Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. The Supreme God walks and does not walk. He is far away, yet he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. Tad ejati tan nejati tad dure tad vi antike tad antarasya sarvasya tad yu sarvasya bhahyatah. So this is where power is correct. Please. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So what this shloka is talking about is Tat. Now here Tat is referring to the Supreme Lord. And just to make us understand how Lord is having potencies which no one else can have, this shloka comes into example. So that is that Supreme Lord, Ejati, walks, and also na ejati. Tat ejati, tat na ejati. Ejati means walking. So this Supreme Lord walks as well as he does not walk. And what does further say? Tat he, dure, far away, and also antike. U antike. Antike means very near. So that Lord is far away. And he is also very near. And then it is saying, na antaha. Antaha means within. Antaha yasya, of this. Sarvasya, of all. And that U also. Sarvasya asya bahyata. Matlab bahyata. So he has just seen. Antaha bahyata. So he is within everything and yet he is outside of everything. Paradox. And that's our Krishna. Because finally everything belongs to him and he has created everything. And that is the reason you will find that Krishna, his potencies are inconceivable. And if we try to understand it with our limited knowledge, with our limited understanding, then we make mistakes. We try to limit him to what we can understand while he is unlimited. He is the only Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And that is what we are going to understand from this shloka today. How he is different from everything and how everything is still belonging to him. So here, Prabhupada ji is explaining many aspects. First is if you're going to be calling someone as supreme, then his powers, his potencies cannot be like anyone else. So he has to be inconceivable. Then we understand how he is very far, yet he is near. Then para 3 to 6 make us understand about the science of deity worship. Then we'll understand how he is Nirguna, yet Saguna. And the last 2 paragraphs make us understand how the Lord pervades everything, yet is separate from everything. So let us see how Krishna is inconceivable. We hear so many stories of Krishna, we hear so many transcendental activities of Krishna, and they are not done by these material bodies because he arrives in his spiritual power only. So they are all executed by his inconceivable potencies. And to make us understand that, the contradictions are given here to prove how the potencies of the Lord are inconceivable. It starts from, he walks and he does not. Now, if someone can walk, is it not illogical to say that he cannot walk? But with reference to Krishna, when we say something like this, it indicates his supreme power. So even the Bhagavatas know that if there is no inconceivable potency, then we cannot call someone as Supreme Lord. If you are able to attach something as a meaning, as a limit to what he can do, which anyone else can also do, then will he be Supreme Personality of Godhead? Will he be the Supreme Param Bhagwan? No. The word Bhagwan itself means he's the owner of all opulences. Bhaga is opulences. And Van means ownership. Just like Dhanvan, so he has ownership of Dhana. Or when we say someone is Dhairyavan, so he has got Dhairya. Shaktivan, so he has got Shakti, strength. When we say someone is very, very, what I'll say, dedicated, that is strength. So one means that something belongs to him. And here what is attached to God? Bhaga. Bhaga means opulences. So all kinds of opulences, they belong to the Lord. And so he is supreme. His opulences are such that no other entity can have it. Even his expanded forms, which he is having, they also possess the opulences. But then, slowly and steadily, the number of qualities come down. So the Param Bhagavan, supreme, his opulences, his potencies, his energies, they are inconceivable. So that is where the discussion continues. See, yesterday's shloka made us understand about the energies of Lord. And today we are understanding about his opulences. That is why Krishna is inconceivable. So Prabhupada ji writes that we should not take it granted that because we cannot see God, the Lord has no personal existence. Ishopanishad refutes this because it declares that Lord is far away but very near also. So the abode of Lord is beyond the material sky. And we don't have any means to measure this material sky. What to speak of the spiritual sky? It is said that the material sky extends so far that even if someone were to, fly or travel at the speed of mind, still he will take millions of years and still not be able to find the end of the material sky. And spiritual sky is multi times larger than the material sky. So everything is beyond our perception. That material sky is situated far, far away. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, where you have clearly have mentioned. But despite the Lord's being so far away, he can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with a speed swifter than that of a mind or a wind. He can also run so swiftly that no one can surpass him. And in spite of this, what happens is when God comes before us, we neglect him. And Krishna condemns this negligence. He says that foolish deride him, considering him a mortal being, while he is not at all a mortal being. He is spiritual. His powers, his potencies are such that he can do anything within just done. In Maharashtra, we have this story of Pundalik. So he was very devoted. And he was so devoted that Lord personally descended for him. But when he came, he was serving his parents. What did he do? He did not even look at him. He just threw a brick behind him and said, "Oh, you have come, just stand on that brick. I'm busy right now." And Krishna is bound by the devotion of his bhaktas. And what has happened is, even today, Lord Vithala is standing besides there in Pandharpur on the brick with his hands on his vest because it is ordered by his bhakta. And the story goes that Rukmini ji, she was worried, where has my husband gone? So she came and she saw he is not ready to move. So she said, okay, let me try. Let me speak to Pundalik. And the same thing happened. He said, I am busy. He did not even look. You stand there. And then Rukmini ji also is standing on another brick. Bhakti binds Krishna. And that is why bhakti is rare. We have already understood in Bhakti Rasamrita Singh. So it is important that we never neglect Krishna in whatever form he comes in front of us. You have to only think of what is our eternal relationship with him. And we have to serve. And the best way to do that is the deity worship. Vigraha Seva. So, and because he is having all these potencies, Krishna can accept our service through any medium. Because on his will, he can convert his potencies anytime, anywhere. So when Lord is appearing to us in the form of material energy, it is still possible for him to convert that energy into spiritual energy. Because the source of the energy is one and the same. So the energies can be utilized according to the will of the source. So when the Lord appears in the form of Archa Vigraha, which is the deity form, at some places it is made of earth, at some places stone, at some places wood, at some places metal. Deity forms which can even be engraved from wood or stone. So they are not idols. So those iconoclasts who say, oh, they are just idols. No, they are not idols. The Lord has arrived in those forms to take our service. With the current imperfect material existence, we cannot see Lord because our vision is not perfect. But then those devotees who want to see him with his eyes, they are favored by Lord, for whom he appears in this material form to accept the service. So those who are worshipping deities, especially the neophytes, they are factually worshipping the Lord himself, because he has agreed to appear before them in an approachable way. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia, and it can be actually filled by a sincere devotee, but not by the atheists. Atheists may just compare it to some beautiful sculpture. It's not a fact. Because when Vigrahas come, you enjoy their arrival. You worship, you celebrate the arrival. You do the yagyas, you do the pran pratishtha, and you ensure that Supreme Personality himself is coming into those Vigrahas. And then you are worshipping them. So deity worship is indirectly the worship of the Lord himself. And seeing this, Krishna reciprocates. How Krishna reciprocates, to what extent he will reciprocate, will depend on the devotee's degree of surrender. The more you have taken Sharanagati, the more the Lord will reveal himself. He will not reveal himself to anyone and everyone, only to those who have surrendered. So, if you are a surrendered soul, then Krishna is always within reach. And if you are unsurrendered, he is far, far away and cannot be approached at all. And that is where the scriptural injunctions of Saguna and Nirguna comes into picture. So Saguna means sa is with, and gun is the qualities, and Nirguna is nir means without. So with qualities and without qualities. So when we say Saguna, it does not imply that when the Lord appears with perceivable qualities, he must take on a material form and be subject to laws of material nature. No. For him, there is no difference between material and spiritual energies, because he is the source of all energy. He is the controller. He cannot at any time be under their influence as we are. So even though he is with perceivable qualities, he is still beyond them. The material energy always works according to his directions, nirdesha. So he can use that energy for his purpose without being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. And so he is Nirguna, without qualities. But he never is a formless entity. Because ultimately he is God. What? Sachidananda Vigraha. He has an eternal form. While his impersonal aspect, the Brahmal effulgence, is the glow of his personal rays. Just like sunrise are the glow of the sun god. So they are not different, yet they are different. And this way we understand how Lord is inconceivable, how his potencies are inconceivable. Lord is not illogical, he is trans-logical. So we should not try to bind him with logics. Logics can be one of our guiding principles, like a minister, but it cannot be our master. Let not logics decide and dictate to you whether to accept something as God or not. An incident happened, if I'm not wrong, just today itself. Sakhi Shiromani Mataji was just speaking to someone on the gate. And that lady said, I believe in Amba Mata. So Mataji explained to her, on what basis do you say this? She said, I understand. I have seen the difference. We celebrate the festival once a year. 9 days we keep fast, so on and so on. And then Mataji explained, it's good logic. But from where has she got the powers? Have they come all of a sudden? There must be someone who has given them. Who is that someone? She came. So from whom did she come? Which energy is it? And they started the questions in the mind of that particular lady. And she wanted to listen more. And then the whole story, how Krishna is the source. And all the demigods and goddesses, they are all coming from him. They are all getting the power from him. And it's not that we should not worship them. Yes, we should worship them. We should respect them as per the necessity, as mentioned in the Shastras. But we can also keep in mind, if you water the leaves, it's of limited use. They will just feel fresh. But if you water the root, they'll always be fresh and they will grow. Our fingers, they cannot eat. But if I allow the food to go to the stomach will convert into energy and the whole body will get it. So let us not bind God to our limited expectations, limited logics. We try to create logics to make something look logical, to make something look secular. No. Lord is Lord. Parabrahma. Paramatma. Parabhagwan. He is the owner of all opulences and he has done. We have to accept it. And he has given us our different duties, responsibilities, dharma. He has suggested the Varnashrama system. So let us follow it. And then we can understand. And he is not someone who is too far away. Actually speaking, with every living entity, he is accompanying as Parma. So he is very, very near. But he is so far because that original Bhagwan is residing in his eternal abode, Golok Vrindavan, Vishnu Lok. So that's a contradiction. So these statements don't make sense. It's a paradox. But if you go into the deeper level, you understand how it is possible. You understand that sun is so far, but his rays, they're touching our skin. So sun rays are with us. So sun is with us, but sun is far. I am here in Pune. You are at different places. We are far, but we are face to face. A paradox. Similar paradox when we say that Krishna is far, far away, yet he is very, very near. You have to look at it from that angle. And when we say that God cannot appear as matter, is to limit him. We should not be done at all. See, many a times you find, especially in South India, if you go to the temples, there are elephants who are maintained by the temples. And we see small children, they go and they want to touch the head of the elephant. So what does the elephant do? It sits down and the child can then touch its head. So is it that the elephant is not powerful? Is it that the elephant is having a lower size? So we should not limit similarly God. He wants us to, we wanted to touch him, to feel him. And that is why he has appeared in the Vigraha Swarupas. And that is why the temples have the Vigrahas. It is up to us how we vision it, how we see it. So the scriptures say there are three kinds of ways in which we can see the deities. So either it could be Jada-Maya, that it be consider it just a statue, or it could be Manomaya, that okay, it's a representation of absolute truth, or it could actually be Chinmaya, that it is not different from the absolute truth. Both are one and same. And the scriptures ask us to go into the Chinmaya vision. Because unless we achieve that vision, we will not be able to understand anything. So it is important that we take this particular study very, very seriously. It is for our benefiction. It is for our purification that this whole thing has come up. And without the expert guidance of devotees, of parampara, of guru, we will not get this. Because this is Guhyatam Jnana. And this Guhyatam Jnana is coming to us. Tad ejati, tad na ejati, tad dure, tad vi au antake, tad antarasya sarvasya, tad u sarvasya bhavyata. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. This is the real understanding of Lord, which we all have to accept. And when we reach this level of understanding, this level of acceptance, we would have understood the Lord in the proper way. So the question comes, how do we reach that level? This is theory, this is practical. You have said, I accept. But what if tomorrow my logic starts questioning me? How do I defeat that logic? Because finally, Maya is there to prevent us from going back to Godhead. Because if everyone goes back to Godhead, who is going to be under our control? So it will start to ask us logics, how it is not true, how you should think this, that, blah, 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 blah. So how do I defeat it? The answer is by ensuring that we are always in association of devotees. If we leave the association of devotees, then we are doomed. Nothing can save us. Only association of devotees can save us. Shuddha Bhakta. We have seen the story of Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur or Sanatan Goswami ji, sorry. How he was being planned by one of the ministers that he is taking too much, he is doing too much of japa or something or the other. Sorry, this story belongs to Haridas Thakur ji, Srila Haridas Thakur. So Maya also wanted to test Haridas Thakur. So when this person thought that no, he cannot be doing so much of chanting. So he had sent a mistress. And she went there, a beautiful lady, at the midnight, decorated with all kinds of ornaments, perfumes, and in a very, very way which would entangle anyone. And when she came, Sri Haridas Thakur, what did he say? You just wait, let me finish my chanting. And he kept chanting and she kept waiting. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And as she associated with him every day while he's chanting, not being disturbed by her, she became a Sadhvi, Vaishnavi. So even if impurest of things come in association with pure devotees or Krishna, they can be purified. That is inconceivable potency of my Krishna, our Krishna. You have seen how he is so merciful. Jagai Madhai. Even they got the mercy of Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, I forgive you. I'll not trouble you. I'll not punish you if you stop troubling. And those Jagai Madhai were worst of the sinners. From that moment onwards, they became perfect bhaktas. So these are all inconceivable potencies. And just for our understanding, though he is far, far away, he comes repeatedly in different yugas to help us understand about Krishna himself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata tad abhyutthanam dharmasya tatha bhimanam srujamyaham. Whenever there is immorality and there is danger to the devotees, I appear to protect them. This is what Krishna says. And he comes. And what is his intention? Protection of dharma, protection of devotees. Because it is only on these two pillars that the living entities can come back to him. And he's waiting for each one of us to get back to him. He is the perfect Father. He is waiting with his hands outstretched. Oh, come here. And we just have to go. This is the Bhav Aushadhi, which Parikshit Maharaj is talking about. So we are all afflicted by this illness called as material body. And this illness requires medicine. And that medicine is the Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally has come and given us this medicine. And we have to take it. A sane patient When he goes to a doctor for any illness and the doctor prescribes the medicines, he takes it. While a foolish person, insane person, he may not understand the disease at first. And even if some are less foolish and they understand the disease, they may go to the doctor. But in spite of giving the medicines, if they don't take the medicines, then they are doomed. So similarly, we are suffering and we now know the medicine. It is up to us. How soon, how strongly, how fastly, how steadfastly we take to the sadhana bhakti and improve our material discomforting situation permanently by getting into the spiritual. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo